Alcime, this I vow to you. I will love you forever. In this life and the next, I promise you.
Jason.
He's still loose!
Training room! A sword!
I'll circle around. Meet you at the front. He doesn't leave the room! Kill the king!
Jason!
Captain Idas! Protect the king! He's a black tongue, Jason. Stay here, Idas. Leave me! You men, go with the king!
You're not done here.
Follow your wife to the next world. The Black Tongues.
Jason.
won't let you go. Did I not do everything you asked of me? Why then? Here, of all places, on your sacred island, I do not accept it. If this is your will, I do not accept it.
Jason, your uncle was looking for you. He wanted to know when you planned to give last rites to Alcime.
If I send her spirit to the underworld, I'll never get her back.
Get her back? How?
I don't know how. I don't have the answers yet, but there must be a way.
I wish I had the answers to give you. But perhaps I know someone who could. Someone whose business is answers. The Oracle at Delphi.
Delphi?
If anyone would know, it would be her.
Yes, the Oracle. Master Argos finishes a great ship as we speak. It will serve.
Delphi's not easily found, it's said. Does he know the way?
I don't know, but I aim to find out. Come, we'll ask him ourselves.
Oh, remember, your uncle is ahead in the courtyard. He wanted to speak with you. I told him I'd let you know.
Mycene has a claim. How can you be so cold? It's terrible enough what happened.
There you are, Jason. It's good to see you out of that mausoleum. It isn't healthy to linger over the dead, nephew. Iolcus needs its king. Captain Idas has finished his investigation. Petitions await, and we must set a date to give last rites to Alcime.
There will be no date for that.
What? Jason, I am your uncle, and I care for you. The will of the gods may be a mystery to us all, but to deny Alcime her last rites is unnatural.
Until I'm certain there's no way to bring her back, I will not do it.
Bring her back? Alcime is dead. You seek the impossible.
Our legends speak of heroes who have done wondrous things. Things that would have been deemed impossible until they were done. And of those deeds, the greatest were done for love. I'm going to Delphi, Uncle. I'll find my answers there.
This is the despair of grief. You're not thinking clearly. Alcime would not approve.
Do not presume to say what she would think, Uncle. Alcime lies in the mausoleum behind me. I speak for her now, and I say she was a daughter of Ares. And if there is any way to bring her back, she would demand I find it.
I understand your ardor, Jason, but have you thought this through? Delphi is not found on any map. Find 100 charts, and each will point a different way.
I would trust Argos' charts above any other. Hercules and I will go ask him ourselves.
Very well. I know better than to argue with you when your mind is set. I will consult our records about the location of Delphi, in case Master Argos doesn't know the way.
Thank you, Uncle.
Delphi, I pray you find the answers you seek, nephew. I will go to the royal court and maintain some semblance of order there.
It's unheard of. Attacking Iolcus.
Those Ionians must be mad to risk the wrath of Zeus.
They are barbarians who worship the old gods.
Those Ionians must be mad to risk the wrath of Zeus.
Yes, I've heard that one too. Prefer not to think about it.
I've already sent word to have 2 prized bulls.
This is where I first met Alcime.
When you were children?
Yes. Her father, King Lycomedes, left her in the care of my father while he was at war. 10 years she lived here.
Alcime, come back! She is willful, King. You must watch her carefully.
She'll be safe here, Lycomedes.
Indeed. No one knows. Not even my advisors. Alcime!
Are you spying? Here, father!
I see you've met young Jason.
King Lycomedes, sir.
Jason, word of advice. I know my daughter. You're going to have to keep your wits about you.
Come, Hercules.
What a view! You can see for miles here.
He didn't deserve this.
The sacrifices of those who died in defense of this land will never be forgotten. Be proud of your men and women, your sons and daughters, your kin. They honored their vows. May we give as much to honor our own.
Hail, King Jason.
Captain Idas, how are you feeling?
Better, my king. My pride was injured more than anything. Was a time those Ionian dogs wouldn't have had a chance.
You fought bravely, my friend. The odds were great.
I've got 3 things for your attention, Jason. First, we have the results from our investigation of the attack. Second, I've just received a report of a disturbance in the village. And lastly, there's a private matter I would discuss with you.
Let's hear the investigation report.
I'm afraid it's both disturbing and disappointing.
What's the disturbing part?
The assassin bore all the markings of a Black Tongue. His dress, his weapons, his tattoos, and of course, his marksmanship. Jason, I went to that balcony. There's not a bowman in Greece who could have made that shot.
Disturbing indeed. And the disappointing part?
We still don't know why he came. The Ionians, that's easy. They're mercenaries. They came for plunder. But why Alcime was targeted? What anyone could have hoped to gain from it? We've learned nothing.
Idas, what do you know of the Black Tongues?
Just the common rumors, really. They're a cult that worships the dark titaness Hecate. Like the Ionians, they place the old gods above Olympus. For centuries, the Black Tongues were the most feared assassins in Greece. I don't know if you remember, but when you were a boy, Alcime's father, King Lycomedes, waged a war against the cult. Until this attack, everyone thought he had eradicated them.
Apparently not. The Ionians. Are we sure they were nothing more than hired mercenaries?
As far as we can tell. We traced this particular band back to Ithaca. They were there about a month ago to reprovision. Our sources say they spoke there of a new job they'd just been hired for. A well-paying job.
What is this report of trouble in the village?
Apparently, Zeno of Thessaloniki has arrived on Iolcus. His brother Menander fell during the attack.
Yes. I heard he was among the guests who were killed.
As you can imagine, Zeno is none too pleased. Thessaloniki has never been a friendly neighbor. Those cheese-eaters have been jealous of Zeus's favor for as long as anyone can remember.
I remember this Zeno. Loud, arrogant sort. Fancies himself a general.
Aye. Well, he's down in the village shouting at anyone who will listen, demanding compensation for his brother. He's got a couple of men with him, and the guard who made the report says there was a witch with him as well.
What is this private matter, Idas? You know you may speak freely with me.
Yes, well... It's time for me to step down, Jason. I'm not the man I once was. This attack made me realize I've grown old. I can't ask men to fight for me when I can't fight for them.
More than any man in Iolcus. You've earned the right to choose when your time has come.
I've got 3 men in mind who could do the job. The sooner you make your choice, the sooner I can start training them to take my place.
I trust your judgment, Idas. You know the men better than anyone. Make your choice, and I'll approve it.
As you wish. I've already called for the men. Ah, here they are now. Lieutenants Ivarius, Myron, and Platon. You men all fought with distinction and have served Iolcus well. But only one of you may be called to serve as captain. Lieutenant Ivarius, step forward.
Yes, sir.
Iolcus calls you to duty. Will you captain her guard?
With all my heart, sir.
Avarius, I know you to be a good soldier and an honest man. Follow Idas for a month's time, and then call yourself captain. May you always be first in battle, and last to stand in our defense.
I am honored, sir.
Dismissed.
I thank you, Jason. I'm sure my wife, Cipriana, will thank you too.
After a few months with you around all day, she may change her tune.
I'd like to go tell her the news.
Of course. Let's finish our business, then you can go to the village. To be safe, let's keep the watch doubled, Idas.
As you say, Jason.
Here did Iolcum, favored of Zeus, defeat the giant Typhor to claim these lands. Iolcum vowed that he and his descendants would forever honor Zeus and protect his sacred island. And so was founded the kingdom of Iolcus.
Your palace would be at home among the great houses of Athens or Mycenae.
Welcome, King Jason. May the blessings of Apollo's light shine upon you. What can Pandora, a humble fortune teller and follower of the sun god, do for you?
What type of fortunes do you tell?
I ask a person questions about their relationships with their fellow man. Then I interpret their responses and align them with the constellations of the stars.
Let's see what fortune you can see.
A man's most difficult choices involve the relationships he has with others. Which of these relationships shall we explore first?
Let's discuss the bonds of family.
Two suitors vie for your daughter's hand. One is a prince who will lift your entire family in stature and wealth, but your daughter doesn't love him. The other is a lowly farmer whose land is poor, but whose heart is rich with your daughter's love. If she marries the prince, there will be peace for 100 years, but she will live a short and unhappy life. If she marries the farmer, she will live long and happily, but the land will be plunged into brutal warfare. To whom do you give your blessing?
I would give my blessing to whomever my daughter chooses as her husband. I would trust in her judgment and support her happiness.
In this matter, your answer aligns with the constellation Pygmalion, the sculptor. Of what shall we speak of next?
Speak of friendship, the bonds between comrades.
You are a poor guard, as is your closest friend. You learn that someone has stolen the devotional offerings from the local temple. You discover it was your friend who did this. His wife is very sick and requires medicine he cannot afford. He offers to split the money with you if you keep his secret. A large reward and a likely promotion await you if you arrest him. What do you do?
I would let him keep all the money. He's my friend and he has need. The temple be damned.
Here, I sense the stars of the constellation Lupus, the wolf, in your response. Of what shall we speak of next?
Duty to king and country. Let us speak of that.
You are a scout in a king's army. A neighboring kingdom threatens your border. A fragile treaty keeps the peace, and you have orders to honor it. On patrol, you spot a soldier from the opposing kingdom hurriedly racing back to his side of the border. From where he was on your side, you see a scratched pattern on the ground, a signal for an invading force. What do you do?
I would observe the marks the enemy soldier had made to interpret their exact intent. Only then would I decide my next course of action.
Your answer is guided by the constellation Pygmalion, the sculptor. Now we have only the matter of society to discuss. You are a shepherd. You suspect a neighbor who is neither kin nor friend of opening your gate and grazing his flocks on your land. This shepherd's pastures lie between yours and the great forest. The wolves have been emerging from the forest in force this year and have claimed many of his flock. The wolves have spared your sheep while they grow fat on his. What do you do?
I'd recognize that I benefit at his expense. He serves as a buffer between my sheep and the wolves. I would suggest that we work together to solve the problem.
I feel the sway of the constellation Libra, the scales, in your answer.
So, Pandora, what fortune do you read in my responses?
In fulfilling your duties, you believe that reason and sound thinking must be the basis of all decisions. In society, the common good is the highest goal. You believe people should work together to solve their collective problems. The bonds of friendship run deep with you. For friends in need, there is nothing you wouldn't do. You would honor your family, and yet you would treat a stranger with equal respect and hospitality. Your dominant constellation is Pygmalion, the sculptor. Wherever your path leads, you will walk nobly, and you will learn from your journey. Your choices have shed much light on the man who stands before me. I hope you have found my humble fortune illuminating in some small way.
I did. Thank you. I must be going, Pandora. Be well.
Apollo bless you.
Look who finally decides to grace us with his presence! King Jason himself! It only took you all day!
You'll lose your voice shouting like that, Zeno.
My righteous anger will not be silenced by the likes of you! Thessaloniki will be satisfied! The memory of my brother demands it!
I am sorry for Menander's loss. May he find his way to Elysium.
Not good enough! No, not by a long way, King of Iolcus. There must be compensation, tribute! Your lands here are rich. Your herds are fat. Clearly you've grown soft with Zeus's favor shining down upon you. Things are much different on the rocky soil of Thessaloniki. A hard life makes men tough. But you Iolcans wouldn't know about that.
Save your insults, Thessalonian. Why don't you just say what it is you want?
I will bring my brother's body home. And with it, my ship will be full of Iolcan wheat and sheep. And then, each year, on the anniversary of Menander's death, you will send 10 girls on the cusp of womanhood to me. Never! This is what I demand in tribute to the memory of my murdered brother.
Have you lost your mind, Zeno? You dare to make such a demand of me?
Such pride! For one who let his guests perish beneath his roof.
Begone! Back to Thessaloniki!
I am not here to negotiate. If you refuse my demand, then my men and I will take our own revenge.
If there is no other way to satisfy you, then let us settle this between us.
I'm with Jason.
Then consider yourself challenged, Warden.
Name your terms.
My men and I against you and your behemoth. Your guards will take no retribution against me after I kill you. When you fall, I take my brother's body and the tribute I have named back to Thessaloniki.
No, don't do it!
And your stake?
I hold here my brother's mace, a weapon worth more than anything on Iolcus. Blessed by Poseidon himself. This will be my stake. Boom!
No one wants it.
No. You will swear here and now, before these witnesses, that your family will make no further claim for tribute. Should any try to do so, they will forfeit the honor of your family name.
Very well. So I swear. So swears Zeno of Thessaloniki.
Tell us when. You boys take all the time you need.
Jason of Iolcus dies today! Kill them! Finish it, you Iolcan dog!
Get up, Zeno. At least die like a man.
It is a fine mace. Do you think it really was blessed by Poseidon?
Who knows?
One thing's certain, it'll see more honor with you than that fool.
Be careful, King Jason. He had a witch with him earlier. She may still be around.
A witch.
You don't know that, Thaddeus.
You should have seen her. Markings all over her body. And she was asking about the assassin.
More like demands, really. Did any of us see him? Where did he come from? She was very interested, all right.
Where is she now? Did you see her leave?
That we did. That Zeno man was yelling up a storm, and I saw her slink off.
It was real strange. She had her ears perked like she was listening for something. Then, all of a sudden, she pricks up, and she was off like a bolt toward the Crypt of Kings.
I heard her say under her breath, "I've got you now," as she ran off. I swear on Olympus.
Thank you. I'll find her and see what she's up to.
I was raised in a village like this. A long time ago.
Live on your many Babawiai!
The great Medea, how far the mighty have fallen. Your power has grown feeble.
Has it? Ilari! Forgive me. I lost myself again.
Are you all right?
I am weak, but it will pass.
That Black Tongue called you Medea. I assume that's your name?
It is.
It's time for answers, Medea.
Then ask your questions, Jason.
Who was that man you killed?
His name was Siklos. Typical Black Tongue. Cruel, devious, and fanatical. When I heard of the attack here, I came as quickly as I could. Their assassins never work alone.
How would you know that?
You see the markings I still bear. Are they not answer enough? In another life, I was one of them. Until I realized the powers I gained came with a terrible price.
Your sorcery nearly killed all of us. Do you have no control over it?
There was a time no follower of Hecate could hope to match me. Now when I call upon the full might of my powers, it threatens to overwhelm me.
Medea, do you know why the Black Tongues targeted my wife?
I don't know why, but I know this is not their first attempt. They tried before when she was a babe on Mycenae.
What?
When your wife was born, King Lycomedes traveled to Delphi and spoke to the oracle Pelagia. Whatever he was told, it got the Black Tongue's attention. Assassins were dispatched to both Mycenae and Delphi. Lycomedes thwarted the attempt on your wife, and the assassin Lysander failed to eliminate the oracle Pelagia. It's said he fell in love with her, and together they fled, never to be seen again.
So that's why Lycomedes waged his war.
Yes. His name was cursed by every Black Tongue in Greece.
Medea, I seek to restore my wife. The Black Tongues are at the heart of what's happened here. Your knowledge of them would be helpful. And in return, I offer you allies in your fight.
If you try to bring her back, the Black Tongues will flock to you like moths to a flame. There'd be no need to chase after them.
Go to my ship. Tell Argos to give you a room.
Jason, are you sure about this?
Your friend is right, Jason. I am not safe to be around. I sometimes lose myself, as you have seen.
We can keep your power warded. That is, if you are willing.
It would be the only way. Very well, King of Iolcus. I will hunt with you and lend what aid I can. I will prepare the wards to secure your ship.
Far too much sorcery being cast about for my liking. Why did you ask her along, Jason? How can you trust her?
There are forces at work we know little about. Prophecies, Lycomedes, the Black Tongues. Knowledge I can hold on to as an advantage. Besides, you saw what she did to that assassin. This is the war armor of the kings of Iolcus. Last worn by my father, Trion. I have never had occasion to don this armor. I'd hoped I never would. But Iolcus needs me now. Her queen needs me. The journey ahead may be difficult. This piece of Iolcus will journey with me.
When the way ahead looks daunting, remember who you fight for. Iolcus is more than its fair fields and proud bluffs. It is mother to us all. We do not stumble over mountains, my son. We stumble over stones. Step safely over every stone, and you will cross the mountain.
Now, to see about our ship and Delphi. To the docks.
That is a boat.
Greetings, King Jason. I am the Dockmaster, Nestus. May Athena's 5 virtues be with you always.
Do you follow the Virgin Goddess?
Aye, sir. I make my devotions to Athena. I find her principles help me lead an ordered and disciplined life. That comes in handy when you oversee the motley pack that works these docks.
You mentioned the 5 virtues of Athena. What are they?
Wisdom, justice, courage, discipline, and humility. These are the 5 virtues of a worthy life. I strive each day to achieve these qualities. Some days are harder than others.
Row us out to the ship, Nestus.
Of course, sir.
Jason, how are you? My heart broke when I heard what happened. This ship was to be a wedding gift. Now it's something else, I suppose.
Perhaps it still will be, Argos. Is she ready to sail?
Aye, she's girded and fit for open waters.
Good. I have her maiden destination. Delphi.
Delphi? What in Hades do you want to go there for?
I have questions that need answers. Answers I can only find on Delphi.
Argos, do you know the way?
I've sailed most every patch of sea in Greece, but I've never seen the shores of Delphi. Part of me thinks it's just a myth.
There are tales of heroes who've been there.
Aye, and each claims it's in a different place. I'm sorry, Jason. I can't steer you there.
Elias said he would look into it. We should check back with him.
Now what about this Medea woman? She says you told her to come aboard. Nearly scared me half to death. She just walked up behind me in the deck house. No rowboat, no nothing.
It's all right. She'll be coming with us to Delphi.
It's your ship, but you need to see what she's done to her quarters below decks.
Very well, Argos. I will.
It's irregular.
Keep the ship ready. We'll go see if Pelaius has learned how to get to Delphi.
That boat will turn heads in every port from here to Athens.
Forgive my lack of cheer, King Jason.
Are you Agathe, widow of the servant Thano? I have a message for you. Your husband's dying words. His final message was that he always loved you. But Agathe, he wanted you to know it wasn't always true.
It is no surprise.
His dying wish was your forgiveness.
I've known for some time, and I already had forgiven him in my heart. Thank you for telling me, King Jason.
If there's anything I can do.
My son and I have each other. Nothing else can help right now.
Who says I can't?
I don't know.
Hail, sir.
Hail, sir.
Don't bother the warden. Don't mind him, sir. He's just some fool kid.
It's no bother. What's your name?
Sinon. Reporting for duty, sir.
Excuse me?
I'm here to join the guard, sir. You must need replacements after the attack. I'm ready to serve.
How old are you?
Old enough to wield a sword and shield.
But not yet a razor, it would seem.
I appreciate your enthusiasm, Sinon. Come back in a year or two.
King Jason, I beg you. My father was one of your servants. He died in the attack. Now my mother wants to leave for Thrace. I won't do it. Let me fight for you. Let me avenge my father.
You have ambition, Sinon. I like that. But the road to the guard is a long one. I'll put in a word with Captain Idas that you be trained as an apprentice.
An apprentice? But I want to join the guard. I want to honor my father.
All new recruits first serve as apprentices. There's much you can learn by polishing armor and sharpening blades.
You only say that because I'm young. You're making a mistake. One day I'll be the best warrior on all of Iolcus. You'll see.
Strange lad.
Insolent, too.
He means well, I'm sure. Come, Hercules.
Jason, I found something.
The way to Delphi?
Perhaps. It's an old chart, crude and rough, but it does show an island marked only as Oracle's Rock. It lies far to the west.
To the west?
I've sent the chart down to Argos at the ship. At least it might offer a place to start your search.
Thank you, Uncle.
Jason, what of Iolcus? Your journey may take some time.
You can watch over her, Pelaius. I trust you.
My place is as an advisor, not a leader.
It won't be forever. Besides, you're more suited to hear petitions than anyone.
If this is truly your will, then I cannot say no. So be it, Jason. I live to serve.
I knew I could count on you. Now all that's left is to take my leave of Alcime in the mausoleum.
Medea should be aboard the ship by now.
Medea?
A former Black Tongue. She has agreed to journey with us. Her knowledge should prove valuable.
Jason, are you sure? Once a Black Tongue, always a Black Tongue.
I trust her. And she'll be watched. Don't worry.
Things have happened so fast. I see great deeds ahead of you, Jason. Do not worry about Iolcus. Anyone who would do her harm must come through me.
Jason, your uncle had a chart sent down.
What do you think, Argos? Look accurate?
It looks ancient is what it looks. If we follow it, we'll be going further west than anyone's ever sailed before.
Then that's what we'll do.
As you say. Jason, let me sail her for you. I know this ship better than anyone.
She's the work of your hands. I cannot say no. May you steer her well.
Thank you, my king.
One more thing. It's only right that you be forever remembered with your masterpiece. So let it bear your name. I hereby name this ship the Argo. Long may she sail the seas.
Jason, you do me too much honor.
You've earned it, Argos.
Thank you, Jason.
Keep the ship ready. I must say farewell to Alcime. And then we sail. Make sure she's well stocked, Argos. We may be in for a long voyage.
Finished the runes of warding.
So I see.
They are attuned to you, Jason. Only you can remove them. As long as they remain active, neither I nor my powers can leave this room. However, I can still prove harmful to anything inside these walls.
How did you come to be a Black Tongue?
My father was King Aedes of Colchis. He had no time for daughters, so I was often left to myself. One day, when I was 12, my father decided he would marry me to a neighboring king. My suitor was nearly 60. On our wedding night, I murdered him when he came to my bed. Then I ran. For years, I lived alone, but I vowed never again to be powerless. The Black Tongues found me, and at the time, what they offered was intoxicating.
Power can be that way.
Eventually, I realized there was a price to all things. I had thought I was gaining power, but I was being made a thrall. I was that 12-year-old girl all over again. But this time, it was a titan slipping into my bed. It comes and goes in waves. Perhaps we could speak more later.
Of course. I hope you're comfortable here. Let me know if you need anything.
I will.
Aryans who worship the old gods. They don't even acknowledge Zeus.
How can you be so cold?
Your
It's
builders
terrible
are
enough
skilled
what
to have remade the temple so quickly.
Gods of Olympus, I make to you this vow. I will not see Iolcus again until I have found a way to bring her back. Bless and guide me on the voyage to come. Protect Alcime, and watch over my kingdom until I return.
I think now would be a good time.
Who's there?
Jason, King of Iolcus, Warden of Zeus. I am Apollo.
Apollo?
Your patron gods support your purpose. I speak for myself and my fellow Olympians, Ares, Athena, and Hermes.
A great injustice has been done to you. To murder a bride during her wedding is a crime that defies all virtue.
And it was my descendant who was killed. Alcime is a daughter of Ares. She must be avenged.
Your purpose is an unusual one. To restore the dead breaks rules both human and divine.
Come, Jason. We each would speak to you and grant you our blessings. Approach these statues so that we may speak further.
Wise Athena, your support fills me with hope.
Your path to this point has been a virtuous one. But obstacles lie ahead that will challenge the very principles you hold dear. Take care that in saving your wife, you do not lose yourself.
I understand.
May your spear never be lost so long as your path is righteous. That is my gift to you.
I am honored.
Preparation is the spear whose point is victory. Do not forget.
Sun God, Apollo, I am grateful for your support.
Your purpose is a noble one, driven by a pure and true love. Never lose hope, Jason. even in the dark times that lie ahead. With hope in his heart, man can accomplish the impossible.
I travel first to Delphi, to consult with your oracle.
She will help you find your way.
We are not sure of the route. Can you tell me where Delphi lies?
Delphi cannot be found through any chart. Delphi only exists for those who truly need it. You already know the way to Delphi, Jason. When you set sail, steer where your heart tells you. If your resolve and your purpose are true, you will find what you seek.
Thank you, Apollo.
Remember, Jason, an open mind is infinitely more powerful than a closed fist.
Swift Hermes, thank you for your support.
Let us speak of the unknown, Jason. Let us speak of death, the greatest unknown there is. Your wife has not been given last rites. I cannot guide her to the underworld. In time, her body will return to the earth, and her spirit will lose its way. If she lingers long enough, she will be lost forever.
Then I must hurry.
You interest me, Jason. I admire how you embrace the impossible. Should you accomplish what you seek, all the rules will have changed. I will see that you're given a chance. I will watch over Alceme's spirit and protect her body for a time. Let that be my gift to you.
Hermes, thank you.
It won't last forever, Jason. Remember, sooner or later, all messages must be delivered. Strength wanes, beauty fades, only wit grows day by day.
Ares, Lord of Battle, I thank you for your support.
Perhaps you can find a way to bring her back. Perhaps not. But there is one thing certain. The Black Tongues will stand against you. The only question a warrior ever need ask is, who is my enemy? Now that you know yours, put your mind to the battle ahead. I'll count every Black Tongue death a worthy offering.
And what of your boon, Ares? Have you nothing to offer Jason before his quest?
Boons. Unlike you, Athena, the Lord of Battle does not offer gifts. The Lord of Battle rewards the worthy.
I would think Jason's actions following the murder of his wife would have pleased even you.
Against Ionians, ha! Let him fight my own warriors. Then I'll judge his worthiness. Warden, to the west of your palace lies the cave of Amalthea. Long has it been sealed, and with it the challenges that lie inside. Go there if you wish to earn my boon. A warrior who thinks long lives short. Trust your instincts, Warden.
You have spoken with each of your patron gods. May your deeds be honorable.
Your actions just.
Your battle valorous.
And your travels fraught with excitement.
We will be watching, Jason. Now, everything depends on you.
I've been thinking, Jason.
You and me both.
The road ahead may be long and difficult. What I mean to say is, I want to help.
You've already done more than I have a right to ask. Hercules of Thebes, I thank you. I am forever in your debt.
There's no debt between friends. I know you do the same for me.
We may have to check with Argos, see how much weight his ship can handle.
Very amusing.
Give the command, Jason, and I'll take us out.
The time has come. We make for Delphi, land of Apollo's oracle. To sea.
No warden has ever fallen in battle on local soil. Once we set sail, that protection will leave you. You may never again know the grace of Zeus.
Everything I know tells me this is the right thing to do. If Zeus disagrees, then let him act as his conscience dictates.
I understand. Well, Jason, this is how legends often start. Aboard a ship, heading out to sea. You should have brought a poet.
How quickly the prophecy has come to fruition.
Yes, Master Pelias. But what of your nephew? What if the Oracle shows him a way?
Let him search. Don't you see? He's left the island and taken that traitorous witch Medea with him. We could not have dreamed for better circumstance.
Master Pelias, you wish to speak with me?
Captain Idas, you have retired, I hear.
I am guiding my successor. When he is fit to assume command, I plan to step down. Yes.
Iolcus will miss your leadership, but there is one task more that she must ask of you. Despite your investigation, I still wonder if some of our own people didn't aid the assassin.
Impossible.
I pray that you're right. Nonetheless, redeploy all existing members of the Guard to the southern plains. We will establish a new and trustworthy force to secure the palace.
Sir, my men are loyal.
I did not ask for your opinion, Captain. The safety of Iolcus is my duty now. That is all.
Your bidding, Master.
Go, Skiav. Follow Jason to Delphi. Let us hear what the Oracle tells our young king.
It will be as you say.